I have with me a man who bowled his heart out on a cricket pitch, gave nightmares to batsmen, and had once said that he likes to see blood on the pitch. Years after he has finished his career, the charm and aura surrounding Jeff Thomson is still intact. Jeff, thank you very much for speaking to Hindustan Times.
Pleasure.
India perhaps has one of the finest crop of fast bowlers right now, and they go to Australia next. Based on just the fast bowling talent that India has now, how do you rate their chances?
Well, they're up there. Your bowling attack's probably the equal of ours, right? We've got a good bowling attack. If we've got all Cummins, Stark, Hazelwood, Lyon, you got them on the park, they've got a lot of wickets between them. They can bowl, and most places. But our batting is woeful. If you want a word, woeful. Without Steve Smith, without Warner, and a few other blokes that have just been scratching around at the moment, it's if I was bowling to Australia at the moment, I wouldn't be losing too much sleep.
Jeff, apart from the fact that you had a lot of pace when you bowled, what people mostly talked about was the fact that you were aided by an action which wasn't really very common. India has a bowler these days who is perhaps one of the finest in the shorter formats, Jasprit Bumrah, and he has a slightly weird action. How do you rate him? Do you think he has it in him to become one of the best in the world?
I think he's got better the more I watch him. He's got more control, he's sharp, he's strong, It all helps. To be not stereotype is a bonus, I think, because these guys are used to, they practice. They like things to be simple and all that. And then when you get a bowler in that's a bit unorthodox, the last one would have been Sri Lanka, Malinga. Right. He was like a slower version of me, but really round arm, and they struggled to pick it up. So anything that's a bit different is always going to go right, provided the guy can control what he's bowling.
Bowling to a batsman in his prime is perhaps the most difficult thing for a bowler. Sachin Tendulkar, Virat Kohli, who do you think would be more difficult to bowl in their prime?
Well, I've never bowled to either, obviously, but just looking from afar, I think Kohli is probably more versatile. You know what I mean? I just think he's tougher.
Across all formats?
Sachin is very good. Don't get me wrong; it's very hard, but just tougher. When he wants to do it, he can do it.
One quick prediction: 2019 World Cup next year. Who do you think is the best place to win the tournament?
Well, I tell you, who's sneaky, but you never know what they're going to do. Is that Pakistan as well? They can bat and they can all bowl, and they got some gun bowlers in their side, some weapons.
Jeff, different eras have produced different set of fast bowlers. If we look back a decade, two names feature very prominently. One of them is, of course, the highest wicket taker in Test cricket for a fast bowler, James Anderson, and the other one is the South African Dale Steyn. Keeping records aside, who is higher in your book?
Well, Anderson probably got, I'm not sure how many, but most of his wickets would be at home. I don't know how many he would have in South Africa. He wouldn't have too many in Australia. Jimmy's a good bloke, don't get me wrong, but he favours seam bowling more than anything.
Australian cricket has gone through a lot of turmoil in the last 6-7 months. Whatever happened, the bans were imposed. Where do you think things started to go wrong with Australia and Australian cricket?
Well, I think it comes from management and finally they're finding that out, and a few heads are rolling.
Isn't this a byproduct of the way cricket has been played in Australia since the 90s, perhaps?
Well, in the 90s, Steve Waugh, they were all sort of mouthed off and carried on and all that sort of thing. But now he's being holier than now, saying, I can fix this up and all that. I mean, he was the one that started, if you ask me, all the sledging and carrying on.